This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Monday, October 24th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From BBC News, former Pakistan Prime Minister barred from holding public office. Former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, has been disqualified from holding public office by the country's election commission following accusations that he failed to declare details about the sale of gifts presented to him by foreign dignitaries. That issue of not adhering to the letter of the law when it comes to gifts from foreign dignitaries is not nothing, as those laws are meant to prevent bribery. But this ruling was almost certainly also shaped, at least in part, by Khan's actions after leaving office, including his attempts to topple the current government by instigating social unrest. From the Associated Press, January 6th panel subpoenas Trump demanding historic testimony. Former U.S. President Trump has been subpoenaed by the House committee investigating the breach of the U.S. Capitol building on January 6, 2021, following 9 public hearings during which they laid out evidence and testimony building a case against several people allegedly involved in the attack, including Trump. It's anyone's guess as to how Trump and his legal team will respond to this subpoena, as he has the option of complying and testifying under oath, negotiating terms with the committee in the hope of setting up an interview that would be more on his terms, probably angling to not be under oath. He could announce that he'll be defying the subpoena, he could go to court to try to stop it, or he could just ignore it. All of these options come with their own risks, upsides, and downsides, and there's been some covert suggestion that Trump might meet with the committee if the interview is broadcast live. And the folks in charge of the committee have responded that this would be unlikely because of Trump's tendency to turn live events into, in their words, a circus. And from the Washington Post, D.C. area children's hospitals are at capacity. For weeks now, children's hospitals in the Washington, D.C. area have been filled to capacity due to a dramatic surge in respiratory illnesses. That surge has been met by hospitals short on staff and with dwindling infrastructure and resource stockpiles as a consequence of the ongoing COVID pandemic. Most of the patients are brought in with serious cases of respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, or the common cold, both of which have arrived earlier and hit kids harder than usual for the 2nd year in a row, another possible consequence of the pandemic. Hospital staff are reportedly concerned that this wave of patients might not subside before what's expected to be a severe flu season kicks off in earnest. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.